I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
I've been out and about a bit this week.
Okay, very good.
In the Puma, as one does. I had a few...
Yeah, they certainly do in your house, because that is the vehicle.
That is the vehicle for the moment,
yep.
Yes. So, yes, out and about in that. Always a pleasure. Had a few client meetings and things this week, a few visits to make. Mm-hmm. And I found myself in a car park. And remembering how they work, I'd parked up there, and I'm quite picky about my parking. I like to get it, in the space there, nice and central, and not hanging out at the ends and not like that. And no. It's much easier now. I'm not driving a Model S because it was impossible to not hang over the end. Yeah, but in fact, other sides as well.
Yeah, I don't fit in Devon. Never did. Never will.
No,
but I'm assuming that not only are you selective about how well you position the car in the available space, but I'm assuming you're quite selective about the available space itself.
Oh, yeah. I start working on that before I even arrive. And then, we whittle it down when we see what's available. We try and get, a little distance from other patrons.
Yes.
You also got to keep an eye on your exit route. Is it going to be, a fairly painless procedure to get from that space to where you leave? And I put a little bit of thought into it. So there I was, got myself an end space, which always nice. Unfortunately, the end was on the passenger side, not the driver's side, but you can't have everything.
It's good though. Still, you've sliced the chance of Dordings in half.
Exactly. Yeah, and nothing in front, nothing behind. It was on the end of a row, single space, exit just to the left. Oh, we were all there.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, I think so. Now, do you not agree, sir, that the Puma is not a large vehicle?
No, I mean, it was quite compact in its day, and it's relatively tiny by modern standards.
Minuscule by modern standards, yeah. So now I parked up there, not mega early in the morning, but, kind of first thing. It was about 9 o'clock.
Fair enough. Good.
So there I was, trotted off to my meeting. That was a couple of hours, very pleasant. Came away from a meeting, back to the car. What do you think I found?
Someone had decided that the end space was not quite on the end enough and made a new one.
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite, but someone acting in an equally inconsiderate manner. To the right of me, so on the driver's side of the car, I found a Mitsubishi Outlander.
Was it a tax dodger edition?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. Well, they all are, to be honest, don't they?
It was. The Outlander is a FEV, yeah. So, with both passenger side wheels over the line into my space.
Oh, good.
Side of the car, literally 2 inches from the Puma's mirror.
Oh.
Not a hope of opening the door and getting in.
Oh, dear. Did a maneuver occur?
Yeah.
I'll bet that was unsightly.
Well, of course, not too bad, because the Puma, being a 90s car, doesn't have a massive center console. So...
No, you're not straddling too much there, are you?
But I was in smart clothes. I had been to quite a smart client, so the trouser area is not as flexible as one might hope. Now, there was no tearing or anything like that. No garments have been destroyed in the making of this story, but I did have to get in the passenger side and scoot across.
You weren't at your most flexible, should we say?
You can put it like that. Yeah, put it like that. Yeah, smart trousers.
Yeah.
Yes,
indeed. I mean, they're not forgiving if you've got to do a severe leg maneuver.
No, they're not designed for it. But I made it across. Nothing got, wedged anywhere or anything like that. We're all good, and I didn't disrupt the synchro mesh. As we know that can happen.
Yes, I'd forgot about that gem from Nick Cage.
There you go.
And then you didn't. Yeah, you don't want to do that because then you immediately start listing car parts while that's popping a feel, and it's just dear.
It's a weird place to be. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I was cross. I was cross because on the other side of I think it had happened because on the other side of the Mitsubishi was a BMW X6.
Ugh.
Yes, quite. Which had also been badly parked. So I think it's like the ripple effect, isn't it? It just goes down the row. But it meant I was, in a bit of a fix there for a minute. I wasn't happy. I was not happy. I mean, it's just so inconsiderate.
I mean, I don't like to generalise, but people are twats.
Yes, they are. Yeah, utterly. Yes.
Yeah, and that does happen a lot. I've had that in supermarket car parks.
Yeah, and they're not the most spacious of places to begin with.
I have had it where I was in my vehicle and someone tried to pull off a maneuver like that next to me.
Yeah.
That ended really badly for them.
For them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you explain to them where they'd gone wrong?
Well, I explained that I was flattered that they thought I was that thin. And then suggested that they might position their car more centrally in the space. I might have simplified the terminology there, but as it turned out, they chose an entirely different space.
Oh, I think that's probably best, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So off you go.
Don't park next to the grumpy man.
Yes. Yes, that's a no parking zone. I had it once many years ago. I was in the X-Type, and I think I had been to see a client, and I was sat in the car checking my emails on my phone, and little old lady.
If you had X-Type, I don't suppose you were checking your emails on your BlackBerry, were you?
No, I've never owned a BlackBerry.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm surprised.
Really? Yes. Yeah. No, I never had a BlackBerry. No, it would have been an iPhone of some description.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Yes, thank you. A little old lady bimbled along into the space next to me and then opened her driver's door with some force.
Oh dear!
Into my door, into my passenger door. Yeah, she got it. She was in no doubt as to where she'd gone wrong as well.
Yeah, you don't do that. It's naughty.
She did.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you or I wouldn't do that. We're not animals.
No, certainly not. But there's just no care. I mean, she was completely oblivious that she'd done anything wrong.
Was the rest of her car in a sort of banged about state?
No, I don't really remember. I don't remember it being particularly knackered. No. Don't even remember what it was now. It would be a Nissan Micra or something like that.
Oh, the trouble is you tunnel vision rage at that point.
Well, exactly. This is the trouble, you see. Dinged my Jag. That's not on.
No, that's not acceptable.
No, it's not. It's just people, isn't it? They're just so inconsiderate. But then you couple that with it being an SUV as well. I mean, it's all there, isn't it?
It's dreadful, is what it is.
Yes, it is dreadful. Well, the BMW X6 is particularly dreadful.
That is one of the most awful things.
It is terrible, isn't it?
A factory, that is.
It's a coupe SUV. That's even worse.
It's like it's all of the compromise.
It is. It's no good at any of the things it's trying to be.
Awful vehicles.
Really bad. Really bad.
I remember that supermarket incident I had actually, and because I did have a small person in the back.
Oh.
And in true small person style, we arrived home, and in he trots. Edward's quite young at this point, and he wanders in, finds Kaylee, and goes, "Huh, Daddy'd hold a man off in Sainsbury's.
He did.
Why drop me in it?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So you've got to explain the whole thing. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yes, and so you get that inevitable sigh. And what did you do now?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't do anything.
No. You were the wronged party there. Yes.
Oh dear, but it can't be helped.
It's because basic parking spaces are not big enough anymore for the kind of cars that people are driving.
No, we've said this before, that they're still measured to 70 standards, aren't they?
Is it 70s or 80s? I thought they did revise it slightly in the 80s based on the dimensions of a Ford Sierra.
Oh, brilliant.
I think they did.
Oh, that's all right. We're cutting edge now then.
Oh, yeah, we're right up to date. Yes. Because that, by modern standards, is still not a big car.
No.
It was at the time. It isn't anymore.
No, on the rare occasion you see one now, it is tiny in comparison.
Oh, I love a Sierra sighting.
Yeah, it's a very rare thing.
It is a very rare thing, but it's lovely when you see one.
Yeah, we've gone from street furniture to, well, in certain guys, nearly £600,000 cars.
£600,000 car, that's true. Yes. Oh dear, that's no good. But
I did see something doing the rounds. I don't know if it was entirely genuine, but there was an RS Cosworth Sierra clocked doing 104 in a 30.
I saw that. Yeah.
Was that genuine?
I don't know. I'm not sure. The car looked slightly homemade. It looked like someone had had a go at the XR4i double spoiler, but it was a different color for the rest of the car, and it looked to me like somebody using some materials, maybe fiberglass or something like that, had taken an Escort RS spoiler and adapted it to the back of the Sierra.
I see.
Because it looked... The XR4 double spoiler, the two fins of it are quite close together, whereas on the RS Escort, they were much bigger and fatter and further apart, and it looked more like that.
Interesting.
So I'm going to suggest it wasn't a genuine one, or if it was a genuine one, it's been quite badly messed with.
Okay, so not a genuine vehicle, but certainly, I think we can safely say genuine speeding ticket.
Oh, probably a genuine speed. Yeah, absolutely. Genuine loss of license, I would suggest, if you're doing that. So,
I mean, that is ballsy in the 30, I'll be honest.
It is. You can't claim you've just drifted over there, can you? That's not a margin of error on your speedo.
No. Well, I know it's an old car, but my goodness me.
Yeah, that's got to be way off.
Yeah. Now, talking about margins of error from gauges on the dashboard, I've been borrowing Phil's car.
Obviously. Oh, have you?
Yes, because we've had a switcheroo while
you've had swapsies, haven't you? Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
yes, I'm waiting for yours next.
Sorry, your name's on the list anyway.
Yeah, that's okay.
He kindly got round to swapping the tyre for me as well, so that's good.
It's done now, is it? Oh, ideal.
I mean, not at his own cost. I paid him. It's fine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You didn't expect. You just sort that out while you've got it. Thanks.
Yeah. But I've been driving his, and the last time that he and I used it, we noticed that the fuel gauge is a bit iffy.
Oh, okay.
So
in what direction?
In no particular direction.
Oh, it's just wrong.
Yeah, well, for instance, I went over to see him yesterday to give him a hand with shifting his van to get it MOT'd. And between my house in Flemington, his house in Barnstable, I used a quarter of a tank, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, it's a deceptively high consumption route, that.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah.
But the act of parking it gave it all back.
Oh, ideal.
Yeah, so it fluctuates a bit, but he did a bit of Googling and discovered that's a thing on those.
Oh, is it?
Okay. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it just amused me.
I remember my Mark IV Escort used to change depending on what kind of corner I was going round.
Oh, that's nice. Well baffled tank there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goodness sake.
Go around the corner a bit quick. As long as you keep turning left, you've got more fuel.
I remember that in Top Gear. Do you remember when they did the 10 grand supercar?
Did they? Yeah, I think they had a similar problem. One of those, didn't they?
Yeah, Hammond in his 308 Dino.
That's right, the yellow one.
Yeah, he found that he had more fuel going round a roundabout.
Going round roundabouts. Yeah, it was a thing during that era. Yes.
Yes. Actually, now thinking about it, that is possibly one of the greatest Top Gear challenges, that one.
It was a good one, that. Yeah, it was a good one.
Which
because they all had complete disasters.
Yeah, they were all quite dreadful.
They were all awful. Yes.
I mean, you could only dream of getting those for 10 grand now, though.
Oh, the world has moved on. Yeah, you try and find a Lamborghini Urraco at all, let alone for less than 10 grand.
I mean, do you remember the 1,500 quid Porsche one?
Oh, yeah, I do remember the 1,500 quid Porsches. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, again, another one that's right up there for contention of tremendous vehicles.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. 924, 944, and 968?
928.
928, sorry. Yes, okay. I was close. Yeah, because you're not getting a 911 even then for that money.
No, and the modifications that they did were fantastic, because then they had to sell them, and Hammond said, "Well, I've put flames on it and written my name on it."
Yeah. Isn't that car still around though?
I would imagine so.
With the flame, I think it is, because I think I saw it a couple of years ago advertised.
What was really nice was the Porsche Club GB turning up to judge them.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the famously fastidious Porsche Club of UK. Yes. They didn't know it was them that were going to be inspecting the cars.
Well, they did. Hammond put the skull gear knob on, didn't he?
That's right.
And
didn't May have like bathroom cupboard handles on the doors?
That was it. Yes, he had those. The nice drop handle. Yes.
Yes.
And he put Tipex on the switches where the markings have rubbed off.
That's right. Yeah, as you would.
Well, that was it, because the judge was sat in there and goes, "Well, this just looks like Tipex," and May went, "Well, it is."
Yeah, that's because it is.
Went, oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that
probably not coming across a lot of that in the Porsche Owners Club?
No. Oh, well, and I suppose while we're mentioning daft old challenges, the one for getting a car for under 100 quid.
Yes. Now, yes, we had a Volvo, an Audi, and a Rover.
Yep.
Yes, that's right.
And it turned out that Jeremy's had been acquired for £1.
£1. Yes, I remember that. He got it from a dealer who'd taken it in part exchange. Yeah. Was it 740?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
because the dealer would have had to pay to have it scrapped.
That's right. So if he sells it for £1, he's made money.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. And it was a Rover 214, 216.
2.4, I think. Red one, wasn't it? With the R8 generation.
That's
Phil's
right.
Absolute favourite era of Rover.
He does like those, doesn't he? Yes.
Yeah. I've got a soft spot for them myself, actually, because there's a bit of... They crop up in old family cars along the lines. My granddad had one briefly. My great uncle had one. I can't remember who else. It's lots of people. Oh, my granddad had 214. My great uncle had a 220.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's. Yeah, I remember all those.
There is something about them, isn't there? There is something about them. I mean, they're very Honda-y, but
probably a good thing, really.
It's quite. That's probably why there's still so many of them around. But yeah, I don't dislike them. We've never had any Rovers in our family that I'm aware of.
What do we have? Oh, my other granddad then had a very early Rover 200. The bubble shaped ones like Kaylee's MG.
Oh, the one that became the 25.
That's it. Yeah, he had one on a T plate when it was still 200.
Okay, yeah. Dawn's mum had a 25 when it for 2001. It was 51 plate 25.
Mm-hmm.
She had that until fairly recently, actually, until it finally failed the MOT and was beyond fixing.
Well, yeah, it will do. There we go. Model R3. They were there again. That's my.
Okay, there we go. Yes,
my brain.
You don't see so many of those around anymore.
No, you do not. Well,
no, those have mostly disappeared.
Well, they have the obvious engine issues and they have the rust issues.
Yeah, they do. But you do still see a few 75s.
You do. Yeah, they hang on in there. I suppose they're not quite as prone to crustiness, and they've got a better selection of engines.
Yes. Now, parked by the side of the road when I went to a meeting last week, I saw a 75 Tourer.
Oh. That's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it. That was lovely.
Mm.
It looked in really good nick as well. I was impressed with that shaped rear number plate, so they're doing that properly as well.
Oh, nice touch. Yeah.
Nice touch. Yes.
Yeah, because that can be wrong on so many levels.
You've got to do a shaped rear plate on a 75. It looks weird without it. It's absolutely designed for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you just have to do it. Yeah.
You're not going to get any arguments from me on that.
It's a very British thing, that, isn't it? The shaped number plate. Now, I'm not aware of any other country that does that.
Nothing leaps to mind.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere else. I think the oversized shaped plate is a uniquely British thing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, don't you worry.
They will.
They
will.
We're happy to be corrected on that because that's
I'm genuinely interested in
knowledge.
That. Yeah, I'm genuinely interested in that because I like a shaped plate. I'd be interested to know if any other countries do allow that because I think I've only ever seen it on UK cars. So there we go.
Well, yeah, do fill us in. On the topic of seeing things out and about, a little while ago we talked about the rather hideously modified Maserati.
Just up the road, yes.
Just up the road from you and down the road from the office.
We did.
That's cropped up where I live.
What, same car?
The exact car.
Oh, okay.
There is a house in Flemington. I'm not going to pin it down too much, which is it has been on the market, and to say the insides have been renovated is one way of putting it. To say that they have been done without any hint of taste is another way of putting it.
So you're saying the car fits?
Yeah. What I'm also suggesting is it's one of those age-old adage of money can't buy you taste.
Yeah,
because it's quite a large house, and you may even question their profession as to what they might be doing to accrue their funds.
Okay, I see.
Which might explain why a hideously modified Maserati is either there as a permanent fixture or visiting regularly.
Yeah, that might fit, mightn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I might be jumping to conclusions, but based on the other cars on the driveway, I would say not.
And given the other location we've seen that car in.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you might be onto something there. Yeah,
but it doesn't look good because it's wrapped, as we discussed.
Yes,
it's caked in shit now as well. So not only is it wrapped, it's absolutely filthy. And
it was quite clean when it was parked up here.
Oh no, it's grot at the moment.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're probably struggling to deal with the sort of that issue of going, how do we clean such a poorly modified car without destroying it?
Yeah, you can't take a pressure washer to a cheap wrap. That'll be gone.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that could be an issue. It's unwashable.
Yes, I think so.
Yes. There's certain cars, isn't there, that sort of invite the wrong sort of people. Is that fair, do you think?
I think that's reasonably fair.
And Maseratis quite often do.
It's weird because they do and they don't. It
depends
very
on
polar,
the model,
isn't it?
I think. Yeah, it depends on the model, I think. But that one has certainly done that, I think.
Yes, I would say so. I did have another thing about cars nearby, but I've inadvertently gone down a little rabbit hole while we've been talking about Rover 75s. I'm just going back a bit.
Oh, it's a popular topic amongst us. We like a 75.
Obviously, with Chinese ownership and rights being bought by Roewe.
Is that who owns the Rover name these days?
No, I don't know if it is, but they certainly had it for some time.
I think Jaguar owned the Rover name.
I think you could be correct. However, they've certainly got the rights to produce a 75 because they got a Roewe 750 is basically a 75 is what they've been churning out.
Right.
They churned it out between 2006 and 2016. And this one just caught my eye. They actually produced for a significant portion of its run a hybrid version in the Chinese market. There you go.
In the Chinese market. Wow, okay. A hybrid 75.
Yeah. Thought you'd like
Does it look like a 75? Have you got a picture?
It does. It looks like a really late one.
Okay, with the terrible grille and bumpers that he put on it.
Yeah.
My favourite iteration was the first one, the original one.
Yes. Well, as with any of those 25, 45, 75, when they did those facelifts, they ruined that, to be honest.
That was, what do they call it? Project Drive, wasn't it? When they cheapened everything. They took all the kit out of them and just,
yes, that's it.
Because they were desperate to try and save money. So they were just taking everything out of them, and it just ended up being a bit floppy and no options and ugly. And
there you go.
The original ones were the ones to get. Yeah, the ones that are the ones to get. Okay. Yeah, it's like a Rover 75, and they're not quite as good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know they'd been made over there. Okay.
No, nor did I. I didn't realise they'd lingered on.
Lived on.
Well, they did that. Same with the MGF or MGTF by that point. That carried on for a lot longer than we had it.
Oh, it was such a shame, wasn't it? Because the 75 was a good car.
Yeah,
it genuinely was.
Yeah, certainly a pretty good car and redeeming features.
Yeah. Absolutely, it was just too little, too late in the end, wasn't it? But it was a shame because I really liked the 75. It was a genuinely good car.
Yeah, I agree. I'm happy to go along with you on that one.
Yeah.
Back to sort of nearby cars again.
Yes.
I don't know if you've spotted it. Because I don't know if you have call to drive along the top road. What is it, Gamerton Road?
No, I never have course to go drive up. I occasionally walk up that way, but I never have course to drive up there. No. doesn't go anywhere, does it? It just comes back
No.
where you started. So
No,
it's not a lot of point, really.
A redundant loop. However,
Yes.
there's quite a lot of on-street parking along there.
There is.
Which is fine. That's not my beef. This isn't beef. This is just an observation of weirdness. Of going, there is a badly modified VW Polo
Right.
that all of a sudden has gone from a parked car to, I don't know if you can still call it parked if it's on axle stands. On the side of the road.
I don't think that counts as parked. No. If it's not actually touching the road.
Is that all right?
I don't think it is. No,
Yeah.
I don't think that is all right.
No, I didn't think it was allowed either.
No, I don't think that's okay to do that. But there's a few strange sites we've had up around that way, isn't it? Do you remember during the first lockdown when there was that half collapsed transporter that I was telling you about, with various vehicles on the back of it? Yeah.
Yes, I do recall.
Yeah, there's some strange goings on up that way.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't get it.
I'm not sure about putting a car on axle stands on the road. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's an iffy area as well. Surely some youths would go, we can have that off of there in just mere seconds.
Yeah, I know what we can do. Yeah, that'll be really funny. And they'll come back and just be sitting on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I've got a couple that are hot off the press.
Oh.
I think this one might cause a bit of venom.
Venom.
Matt kindly posted a link to it in the chat earlier on Discord.
This might bring me on to something I want to talk about as well. So this might be quite a good segue.
We could be segueing left, right, and centre here.
Oh, yeah.
Because off the back of it, I had a read of the article that Matt posted for us, and then I ended up reading a couple of other articles because there's obviously everyone's released a little bit about it, and it's that apparently the Ford is poised to resurrect the Capri.
Yes. Yes, possibly so. Yes.
But all reports suggest it's going to be an electric crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to do to the Capri what they've done to the Mustang and make it an electric SUV.
Don't forget the Puma as well.
Well, that's not electric yet.
It's not, but that's going to be on the cards.
Yeah,
they're resurrecting names to make them ridiculous vehicles.
Well, yes, they certainly are. But the other thing I was going to mention was they have resurrected another name this week. Have you seen the launch of the new Explorer?
I have actually. I've seen that there have been some videos out, and I've watched none of them.
Okay. Well, this is very interesting because, again, they're reusing a name for some reason. I don't know why they can't just come up with new names, but anyway, they're reusing a name. But this Explorer is nothing to do with the American Explorer. The American Explorer, obviously, big SUV, favoured by the police.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, indeed. This Explorer, which is specifically for Europe, is all electric, but it's not an SUV. It's a 5-door hatch. Well, it's styled to look like an SUV, but it is in fact pretty much the size of a Focus. Just a smidge bigger.
Yeah, but the proportions of it just... why can't it be a hatchback in normal guise? Why does it have to be in crossover form?
I know what you mean. It's styled to look like an SUV, even though it's the size of a Focus. So it's a little tiny, well, not little tiny, but you know what I mean. The Focus is becoming tiny, isn't it, these days? But I actually quite like it.
I'm skimming through the page.
I'm going to put that out there. I quite like it.
Do you? Right. Well, I've skimmed through the overly smug page that they've put on their website about it.
Oh, don't look at that. Read someone else's bit or watch Johnny Smith's review of it.
I mean, on the face of it, just going on this alone without any, like you said, maybe Johnny Smith would be a bit more impartial, but looking at this, I would say it can get in the sea.
No, I disagree.
It's parked near a lake, and I wouldn't be upset if they let the handbrake off.
No, I'm going to disagree with you on this occasion. I really like it. I really like it. Because it's not an SUV, because it's the size of a Focus.
But it looks like one.
Yeah, I can get over that.
And I can't. I'm angry about that still.
No, in this case, I can get over that. I think it's good. I really like it. I think it's got some really nice features on it. 300 miles range, 40 grand, which is significantly cheaper than what else is around. I really like it.
Well, I'll watch his review.
Watch Johnny's review, because he does go into it in quite a lot of detail, and he interviews the designer. So have a look at it. Yes, I don't know why it has to be styled to look like an SUV, but the important thing is that it's not an SUV, it's a 5-door hatch. So I really like that. I think that is the most significant electric offering we've seen from Ford so far. And it also shows that maybe they're not just going to do supercars. Maybe they're rowing back on that a bit, because it's clearly not a supercar. No. And that's good, because they do need to row back on that.
Yes, it's not going to earn them a lot of money doing that. That's a very silly thing to do.
It's not. A 40 grand hatchback, well, that stands more chance.
I'll reserve my judgment. We'll revisit this after I've done my own investigation.
Let's revisit that. Get yourself up to date on it. Look at the stats. Read or listen to what Johnny's got to say on it, and what the designer's got to say on it. But no, I was impressed. I like it. I quite like how it looks. I can see sort of what they're trying to do. And yeah, I'm pleased that it's not an SUV. I know it looks like an SUV, but it really isn't. So.
That's the thing, isn't it? Just
I don't know why they feel the need. I don't know why they can't just evolve the Focus, platform and or looks at least. The other interesting thing about this is that it is not a Ford platform. It's an alliance deal they've done with Volkswagen, and it's actually on the ID4 platform.
Oh dear! Well, that's a hard no from me there.
Look, if it means that they can do stuff like this for a while, then maybe that's not a bad thing. But
to borrow a platform from them, can you not pick a better one? Someone who's actually doing well in the electric market.
Yeah, well, hopefully it hasn't got the build quality of the VW offerings, which is appalling from what I've been told.
Yeah, no one seems to like that, and as long as it doesn't have the archaic infotainment of the VW stuff, and
no, it doesn't have VW software. That's Ford's own,
and the silly. I think VW have actually learned now, haven't they? That even on the non-EV range, like you could buy the latest generation Golf R, and they had all the stupid haptic buttons on the steering wheel. Like, no, just get actual buttons. We've had enough of this.
Yeah,
just do one. Come on.
Isn't the new because they've announced as well coming in a couple of years an electric Golf, sort of rowing back on the whole ID3 thing, and that has physical buttons in it rather than a touch. Well, it does have a touch screen, but all the key features are on physical buttons.
So there's a lot to be said for that.
Looks like they're learning, but let's come back to the Explorer. Watch the review, do your own research. But I'm in the okay camp with that at the moment.
Okay, well, I'll holster my wagging finger.
If you would.
and it'll come out if necessary. But I'll.
No, I've decided to be a bit more flexible on that, and I quite like it.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that one. Here's an announcement that's either today or this week. I didn't see what day it was. I wasn't reading that in depth. But a car that I really don't like is to disappear. The Mini Clubman is actually going to bugger off now from the range.
Oh, see, that's another car I quite like.
Yeah, but I mean, the Clubman has become a very, very silly thing these days.
I prefer the first one that they did, the 3-door. Well, technically wasn't 3-door, was it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-door, but they were in weird places.
Yeah, and that rear door was kind of a flap, and they only had it. They never bothered switching it for right-hand drive market, so that you just fire the rear passengers out into traffic.
It was on the wrong side for us. Yeah. Yes, I grant you. No, see, begrudgingly, again, I quite like the Clubman.
I understand where you're coming from with the original stuff, because they actually kept the proportions the same in the same vein as the original Mini. When they made the Clubman version of that, it was still a Mini, and it was just it had a back on it.
And that's exactly what they did with the first generation, which I think was the Mark II, the R56 Mini, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now it's a model in its own right, and it's got all the doors, and it's just all nonsense. And it's not a Mini anymore; it's enormous.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's technically a 6-door now, isn't it? Because it's longer and it's got. Yeah, I still quite like it, though. I know you're gonna call me names, but I do still quite like it. I'm surprised they're getting rid of that, because you see quite a lot of them around.
Yeah, I try my best to avoid them.
What they should be getting rid of the Countryman. That's an abomination.
Is that still a thing?
As far as I know, it is. It's a hybrid now, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong. I fully agree. It's a hideous.
It is awful. No, the Countryman, I agree, needs to go away. But I begrudgingly quite like the Clubman.
You are correct. The Countryman is still with us.
Yeah, I thought it was.
What are they describing this grot bag thing?
You see even more of those around.
Compact SUV.
It's not. No,
it's meant to be a Mini.
It's a Mini. They shouldn't be making an SUV. There shouldn't be an SUV in the range. They shouldn't know what an SUV is.
Well, I'm looking at the range now, actually. I've never bothered to look in recent times. So I've got the Mini, as you'd expect it. 3-door hatch.
3-door hatch, yeah.
5-door hatch, convertible, Clubman, Countryman, Mini Electric, and John Cooper Works.
Yeah. Yeah. Countryman can go. Clubman, I would probably keep. I do quite like it.
But I mean, if they're going to keep, why can't it just be with the little flap door if you're going to have one?
Well, I don't think it needed the flap door. I never thought it needed the flap door. I like the 2 doors at the back, because that's harking back to the original. I think it should have always just been. It should have been an ordinary Mini up to the back of the front doors, and then you put the estate bit on the back with the 2 doors at the back. That's like the original. That's what it is. I never quite got the little suicide door, especially as it was on the wrong side for us. But
bloody hell! I inadvertently clicked into John Cooper Works to see sort of what's what in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Expecting to see it being quite a simple section, but no. The John Cooper Works is available in the 3-door hatch, convertible, Clubman, Countryman. Who is buying a John Cooper Works Mini Countryman?
A very strange person. Yeah, that's odd.
Just buy the hatch. Stop being a dick.
John Cooper Works should only be available as the hatch.
Yeah. It looks good in the hatch. It looks purposeful.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does, actually. Yes, I know someone who's got one. And it does. It looks really good. Clubman, maybe, but not Countryman. Absolutely not. I'm with you on that. That's not right.
Yeah, unfortunately, because you got this sort of extra length on the Clubman, including what appears to be a slightly longer bonnet too, and it kind of spoils the purposeful look.
Oh, I didn't know it. Okay, that's a bit strange.
It does look like the the Clubman does have a slightly longer bonnet than the Hatch.
Why would it? It's the same engine, isn't it? Why would it be longer? Don't understand.
I don't know. It might just be. I think it could just be a perspective thing, to be honest.
I didn't think it did. It certainly never used to.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is. There's something different about it, and I can't put my finger on it yet.
Okay, might have to look into that.
There is. Hang on. That's going to annoy the shit out of me. That is. Right, hang on. I'm going to give you a comparison photos. They've made it actually easy to pinch their photos on the website.
Okay.
There is something more. I'm flicking tab to tab, and there is something more bulbous about the Countryman. I'll let you do the same. Actually, right? Let me. Oh God, I've done it again. I'm on the wrong computer.
What is it you do for a living again? I forget. It's something to do with computers, isn't
it? Yeah. So I've heard. Hang on. Allow me to fire the same website up here.
Furnish me with the same thing you're looking at, and I will give you my opinion.
Yes, not an issue. I will be with you shortly. It won't take me a second to... Well, I say it won't take me a second. There we go. God, this website's dreadful.
This would be really good for the listeners, this bit.
Yeah, me clicking. There's good stuff, that is.
It's what people listen for.
Yeah. I listen to try and hear my brain just whirring away. Right, Here we go. Right, here's the image of the hatch. So just fire these up in two separate tabs and then just flick between them quickly and you'll see what I mean.
Okay, I can do that.
There's the hatch, and here is the Countryman. I think, there we go. It is on its way.
Got him. Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh, is it, or is it a optical illusion?
Well, there's definitely something different about the front of that.
Hang on a minute, I'm going to do something clever here.
I'm going to attempt to overlay them, eh?
Yep.
It's like it's got a bit of a chin on it, if I would say. Anything?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah, new beer. It's fine.
Something fizz then, didn't it?
Yeah. Wasn't me, I promise.
No, you need to not make noises like that. That's a very tough call. They've also made the lighting and the shadowing different on the two pictures, which also distorts it a little bit. Or in your eye, it distorts it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Because I'm.
Oh, hang on. I might have done a thing here.
No,
I've got them. Yeah, I've got them overlaid. Now, let's get this lined up. I've got the hatch on top of the Countryman. It is. Let me get the windscreen line right. It is exactly the same. Sorry.
It looks bulbous.
I know what you mean, but it isn't. It's exactly the same. It's identical.
Hang on, are you going to make me do the same thing?
I'm not going to make you do anything. It's up to you, chap.
I've got my Photoshop running. I'm going to do it. Let's change.
Yeah, I think they're exactly the same.
No, I know what it is. I've spotted it.
What's the difference?
If you look, what's deceptive on the front of the hatch, you'll see that where the bonnet swoops down, and it swoops down to the funny little splitter that they've put on it. It's a consistent swoop.
It is.
Whereas if you look on the Countryman, which does not have that consistent swoop, it has a bit of a chin. There's an indent, and it confuses it.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's the thing. When I was looking at it head on,
Yeah,
gave the
you're
weird
right.
perspective.
You're right, but it isn't any longer.
No, that's the bit. No, that for some reason makes it look worse.
Just slightly is styled slightly differently. Yeah,
and it made it head on. It looks a bit different. And
you
know what I'm saying. We've overdone that. We've
gone way too deep on that to a disturbing level. Yes.
I mean, we already decided that we didn't want a John Cooper Works clubman.
We did.
And yet...
No, you decided that. I didn't decide that. You decided that.
No. You said a John Cooper Works should only be available in the hatch. 3-door.
I did say that, yeah. But if it comes to it, I would probably allow it in the Clubman, but absolutely not in the Countryman. Well, they shouldn't be making the Countryman at all. So
no.
Yes.
No. It's yet another vehicle that will be getting into sea.
Yes.
Right. I think we've that's as rabbit holes go. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've gone way too far on that. Yeah, it's quite disturbing, isn't it? Really,
we've overdone that, but we know.
Yeah, no one cared.
We cared.
We cared, and we cared enough to put that much effort into it, and now everybody knows that the bonnet length is exactly the same on the mini hatch as it is on the mini club.
Yeah, but the front styling is different, and
slightly different,
and it affects the perspective. So what you should just do is buy the 3-door hatch if you're in the market for a John Cooper Works Mini.
I'll probably allow you to say that.
Yeah. Is that consumer advice?
For a very limited market, it probably is.
Oh my god! I got nothing. To be honest.
No, I don't know where you're going with that.
No. I've given out consumer advice on a car that I wasn't expecting to talk about.
Yeah, there we go. That wasn't on the agenda for tonight.
No.
I was going to get you all riled up about the new Ford Explorer, but here we are talking about minis. How did that happen?
Yeah, talking about minis, deciding which one you'd want of the hot ones, and moaning about the chin spoiler on the supposedly hot Clubman. I think that's where we leave it right there.
There's nothing to add, is there? Really?
No. We've excelled there. We've dished out advice on cars that, let's face it, neither of us are going to buy, and neither of us have them high on our list. But if anyone does, we've told you exactly which one to get.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.